everyone. I'm going to demonstrate my virtual server that was created in the Microsoft portal. So the first thing, I'm going to show the overview part of it, the overview of how it looks and some of the common components that it has. So this is my portal, and actually this is my machine. So we're going to see some of the basics overview of that machine that I was supposed to create. So the machine was supposed to contain at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then to have at least to be named after Ensign Success, and then to be a Windows Server 2025 data center. And then you look at it, this is the machine. These are the basics. We have the 16 GB RAM, then we have the name, the data center, and then I named it Ensign DC Data Center 01. Then I actually allowed some of the remote access in the security part and been able to set the auto shutdown. So this machine, I was able to access it remotely using the RDP, and that allows me to operate and add, edit, and configure the machine. So the machine is here. I can just connect it. Let me see if it's on. It's on now. I can just connect it remotely. When I access it remotely, the machine is here. So the first thing you're supposed to do is to ensure that the machine is upgraded to a domain. And how to do that, you have to click add features. Then after adding features, you will choose to follow the wizard until you reach a place where it will ask you to select features. And on the features side, you can see mine is Active Directory already, since I already selected that earlier. So even yours, you will have to select this Active Directory and others that you may need, and then you will finish the wizard. And then later on, it will prompt you up here where the flag is to upgrade, and now you'll just have to click that option and proceed to the upgrade. So to create groups, you have to go to tools, and then you choose Active Directory users and group computers. And then what you are going to do here is either create users and groups, and then be able to assign users in different groups. And then you use those groups to give privileges to given files and passwords on login and those kind of things. So in groups, you can see under the success, I've created several groups in a group. And those we have the data centers, we have a center manager. And actually, when you check here, you realize I've added members in that group. That is the member. I also created the group called Student Advisory. And you can actually see that I've also added members in that group. I also created the members are here. I also created the domain admin and added a member in that very group so that the member can have privileges to access different files when assigned to. We have Jane here. So the users are actually created under users, and then you just have to group them in groups by right clicking a user and then choosing add to a group. So we were supposed to create files. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you open and then choose the disk where you want to create that file. So in this case, in Windows C disk, and then what you do here, you always have to right click and then add new. When you add new, you will be able to choose that you want to create a folder. Then you click the folder, it will automatically show here, and you'll have created that. So I created the admin and the advising document, but on admin we are supposed to give privileges to a certain group number of groups to access it, and what they have to do is to write and read. So to see that I've actually assigned is by right clicking it and then going to its properties. And then when you go to properties, you will select the security part of it. And then it will show you people have access to it, to that file. So this center manager here, and what they can do is read and write on that folder. And you can add others by clicking edit and then add. When you click edit, then you click add, you choose the group you want to add or the user that you want to add. So we have the other file which is called the advising. We want to give access to the other two groups to access it and read and write. So the same way you did to the other folder, the same here. You go to students advisory, you can see that I've given them access to and read and write on that. Then we have managers, the same privileges. So that's how you can add permissions to groups and users to be able to access those groups. And when creating users, remember you also create the password that they can use to log in. So to group policy, what you have to do is you go to the server manager and then go to tools. And then on tools, you will have to go to group policy management. And this way you can be able to manage the group policy and add those groups that you need that will be able to have access to different things and the rules that will apply to these given users. Thank you so much, and hopefully that has been well understood.